So last weekend, T-Money Honey, Taylor Swift came to Melbourne and graced us for 3 big nights. Now, Taylor Swift is probably one of the biggest stars at the moment. I listen to her sometimes, I don't mind it. But what I thought was interesting was, as massive as Taylor is, her concert had the biggest audience she's ever played in front of, around 90,000. So for Taylor Swift, one of the biggest pop stars in the world, playing her biggest show in little old Melbourne, I thought it'd be a good chance to check out the venue she played in, which is the MCG, Australia's Coliseum. Plus it's really close to my house, so I thought it'd be easy to go over there and get some footage of it. It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. There we go. All right. So behind me we have the MCG, the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and it is a big fucker.
Get me, I'm a big fat slob!
Huge. But yeah, the MCG is kind of the hub of sport for Australia. It holds the biggest sporting events. So for the grand final of the Australian Football League, it's held here. Boxing Day Test for cricket, waste of time, but it's held here. And also for events like Big Tay-Tay, Taylor Swift. Might even see if one of the bloody doors is open and we can just walk in and get a shot of the field. But before we do that, let's go back and look at the history of this big bastard.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
So the Melbourne Cricket Ground, the MCG, came to life in 1853, where it still stands today, with the first Aussie rules game played in 1858. Over the next 50 years, the MCG would host a range of sporting events, as well as seeing the installation of grandstands and scoreboards. Now there is a museum in there, so we might see if that's open. There's a museum in there, I think. Check out this little champion. Look at him. Michelle Wattie. Going through the museum made me realise how iconic the MCG really is. While hosting some of the biggest sporting events in Australia, including the 1956 Olympics, it also holds a lot of cultural significance as well, housing American soldiers during World War II, which I had no idea about, and other artists, including Michael Jackson, David Bowie and U2. And don't forget the con artists, including the Pope and the Queen of England. So I grew up in Hobart, Tasmania, an island south of Victoria, Melbourne, where the MCG is. And being from Tassie, a big thing would be going over to Melbourne to see the footy and going to the MCG. And I remember going there for the first time to see my team play. It was Bulldogs versus West Coast. And the experience was crazy. It was just like walking into this stadium was like nothing else. And that was honestly a huge thing about footy and going to the footy when you were younger, getting the chance to go to the MCG to see your team play. And I honestly didn't know the history of it before creating this video. I had no idea how old the venue was. I didn't realise how much stuff happened with the MCG. And I didn't realise the capacity. Even in the 1800s, they could have 30 or 40,000 people in there. And they had, and they had crowds of over 100,000 in the 50s, which is crazy. I thought, honestly, Taylor Swift was the biggest thing to happen to the MCG, and that's just not the case. I'm sorry, Taylor. You're just a small part of a huge history of an amazing venue. And there's so much more history to it that I didn't cover because couldn't be bothered and I didn't want to make the video too long. The Melbourne Cricket Ground, Australia's Coliseum. What a place, what a space, what a time.